Hello, my name is Samantha. My pronouns are she, her, and today is December 31st, which means it is time to film my 2023 cross-stitch finishes and WIP parade. I am very excited because I have a lot of projects to show you today. Each year I make one of these, it is longer than the year before. So, before I get into numbers, I will say that the number of projects I started this year was a lot higher than usual for me because two things. One, I decided that this was going to be my year of ornaments, and that included Christmas ornaments and Halloween ornaments. So a lot of them fall into that category. And then I also was doing a monthly full moon small. So again, that accounts for, so it's about half are smalls. But let's get into the numbers. So I started 2023 with 10 WIPs. 5 of them were ones that I had started in 2022, and 5 of them were from years previously. And then throughout 2023, I started 42 new projects and finished 36. Now, if I'm doing this correctly, 32 of the 36 that I finished this year were also ones that I started this year. And then 4 of them were from the 10 I brought into the year. So there are 6 of the 10 I still have, and then I have another 10 from this year that are still WIPs. So I have a total of, I have a total of 16 WIPs and 36 finishes. Yes. So today you'll be seeing 52 projects. Actually 51, because so some of these are gifts. There's one that I'm not going to show. The other 3 I will show. I'll talk a little bit more about those when I get to them. But I have everything written out in this notebook. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.5 pages. So let's get started. Okay. So the first one is known as the Disney gift. Now, whenever I've talked about this project before, I've only shown the back of it. However, this year I am going to show the Disney gift. If the Disney gift is for you, you know who you are, and if you don't want to see it, close your eyes. So I won't say the name of it out loud, but I will put it on the screen for everyone else. If you know who the person is who's getting the gift and you don't want to see it, close your eyes. I will tell you when you can look again. I'm going to show the Disney gift. It is my oldest WIP. It started 6 years ago today, so December 31st, 2017. It is my largest project. I was newer to stitching when I started this, and I knew how big it was, but okay. Here is the Disney gift. This is what it is called, the real name. Remember, close your eyes. I will tell you when to open them if you don't want to see it. Okay, here we go. Let's see if we can get all of this in here. I hope that showed all of it. I'll try and show closer, so keep your eyes closed if you don't want to see it. If you are the person I'm talking about. Okay, so this is half of it. And then the other half. And you'll see I've got this panel left to do. So let's show you this. I'm trying to get all of it in here. As you can see, very large. So we're on 6 years currently. We'll see. It'll get done when it gets done. Did that show the bottom? Yes. Okay. So yeah. It's honestly, I mean, I've said this before, but for a project this size, 6 years, I mean, it's not done yet, but it's not too bad. So here's this one. Okay, you can look again if you are closing your eyes. So next is, so I am going in chronological order. So next up, So that is my only WIP for 2017. The next one is my only WIP from 2019. This was started February 21st, 2019. This is, oh, you know what? Hold on. Okay, I had to grab a board to put behind some of these, but this one is on 14 count black Aida. And again, anything that I forget, either the title, the designer, or the fabric, I'm going to include just on the screen. So this one is Chalkboard Welcome by Doreen Jones. This one, so okay, backing up again. I'll get into the flow of this soon. So the Disney project, I don't think I worked on this year, so I apologize to the person it's for, but you know, this one I added stitches to it. Technically I did, but not many. It was maybe like one length of thread. So I'm thinking, this is what I'm thinking at this point, now that it's, you know, it started in 2019. I'm thinking, because at the top it says welcome. I'm thinking maybe I just finish the other half of the curly cues and it just says home. Maybe it just says home, you know? Maybe. Okay. Next is the only one I have left from 2020. This is Advent Animals by Brooks Books. I'm doing it all on one piece of fabric. It is 18 count oatmeal Aida. And I started May 1st of 2020 and intended to do like a block a day, and did the first 20 days. And then, well, it sort of just stayed there since then, basically. But I mean, and again, I like it and I'm almost done with it. Like, that's the thing. Like, there's not terribly much left to this. It's just this last row. And I'm like, I could do the last row, but I just am never in the mood for it. So like these like older WIPs are sort of like inactive WIPs. They're not UFOs, but I just, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I mean. It's just some projects that are like that, that like still technically, yeah, they're WIPs. Mostly. So. Okay. Next. So now I've got 2 that I started in 2021. This one is also still a WIP. This one has realistically like an hour of back stitching. Could I have done it today? Technically. Did I? No. This is Neverland by Magic Stitching. Started July 23rd, 2021. This is on 16 count lock by Picture This Plus. And it just needs some back stitching here and then here. That's it. Yeah. But the rest of it looks good. Yeah, so. Okay. Now for some real progress, okay? We've gotten past the old ones that are just hanging in there. Okay, now we have my Temperature Bookshelf by Christie's Corner. Started December 28th, 2021. So this is my 2022 temperature pattern. This is the second one that I've done. And I did another one for this year, 2023, and I'm going to be starting another one for next year. So it's something that I enjoyed. Anyway, this is Temperature Bookshelf for 2022. I kept all of the little shelf accessories as charted for this one, though she does have, like, you can get a pattern that has like alternate accessories that you can add for yourself. Or of course you could always chart your own, but I kept them as charted. I really like it. So this is 2022 Temperature Bookshelf. Okay. Now we are into the, I want to say 5 starts. Is that what I said? Yes, 5 starts from 2022. Okay, let's see how I did. I'm referring to my notes when I look down, by the way. Okay, next up, started March 31st, 2022, and finished February 7th of this year. This is A Sunday Afternoon on the Island of Le Grand Jatte by Allerton Embroidery. And this is, of course, based on the famous painting by George Seurat. It is one of my favorite paintings. Let's see the best way to show this. There we go. I really enjoy the full coverage by Allerton Embroidery. I've done other projects by them before and am also currently working on another one. And one of the things I really like about them is that at least most of their full coverage pieces, like, it looks fantastic, but there's no confetti. And like a full coverage art piece without the confetti, like, you have detailed sections and you have blocks of color sections. And I absolutely loved this. So, next is, let's see, started June 28th, 2022, and finished January 28th. This is Summer Band Sampler by Tiny Modernist. This one I did on 18 count vintage country mocha. I chose it because I wanted something that looked like sand. I'm very pleased with this. Although I do kind of think that for me, banded projects like this are not my favorite. I did like doing this, but I think it's not my favorite because while you do get like a sense of like the satisfaction of completing like each band, you're like, why am I just not done with this yet? You know, like, because it basically, it forms its own, I don't know. Because it's not like, oh, something's clearly missing. It's like you've done a whole chunk of it. But it's not done yet. But I mean, this is done. But I kind of had that feeling while working on it. I'm like, there's another band. So maybe it's not my preferred, what would you call it? Style? Category? So I'm not saying I wouldn't do one, but I would just have to be like, now I know going in that might be a difficulty. So this is Summer Band Sampler by Tiny Modernist. Okay. Next, oh, we're on our next page. Okay. All right, this one is still a WIP. So we have, let's see if this works without the board. So this one is Christmas Tree Lights by Julia Studio Design. Now, as far as I know, from checking last year, this is not it's not a pattern that's still available. I remember scouring the internet trying to find, like, because the Etsy shop like is no longer there, and I tried to find a website or like an Instagram or something, couldn't find it. If that is still the case and it's an unavailable pattern, I am okay with, like, if you message me on Instagram, I'll just send it to you. Like, I'm not, because in that case, I'm not making any money off of it, and it's still, if you want to stitch it, you can. So I like it. It's kind of, this one has a string hanging, but, and the other thing that I think that has slowed me down with this one is that because, like, there's so many, I mean, it's not like it's not that there's an unreasonable amount of colors. It's just there's a lot. It's, would you call it confetti? I wouldn't call it confetti, but there's a lot in a little space, which I know is confetti. It's not. How would I describe that? It's not ridiculous confetti, but it's, you know, it wouldn't be a wrong term, I suppose. Okay. But I was just like going from a pattern just on my phone where I couldn't highlight like as I went, and it was just not, impossible because like I've done this much. But what I did is just printed out pages. Like I emailed the PDF to myself and then just printed. I think that's going to make it a lot easier to get this finished. I do really like it though. Okay. And then, okay, this one's a finish. This is Miss November by Sugar Stitches. Hold on. This is part of their Calendar Girls series. There we go. Am I very dark compared to this? Can you even? I have to figure that out. Okay. Is that better? I don't know. So anyway, this is Miss November. I wanted to do something that was Thanksgiving-ish without being natives and colonizers. So I found this and I was like, that'll work for what I want. So, Miss November. This is on 18 count dirty. Oh, I forgot. I was going to say something at the beginning. Got all tied in. Okay. All of my projects are stitched on Aida. They're all stitched with DMC and stitched by hand. Most of it is 18 count, but not always. Yeah, those are the basics. Okay. And like I said, I'll try and always mention what it's stitched on. Which, yeah, this one, it's just 18 count black. I think it's all Zweigart for what I have. I do own some Witchelt fabric, but I think these are all Zweigart. Yes, okay, pretty sure. Next. Okay, so next is my 2023 temperature pattern. This is, am I holding this correctly? Yes, okay. This is Temperature Supernova by, checking my notes, Climbing Goat Designs. So I am currently caught up through like mid-November. I'm missing the white in between for November, but that's where I'm at right now. Like mild fall into winter, right? Like there's some green in there, but like one blue, mild. And then there's also, it gives you like letters and numbers to put in the year and then like where you live. I might just do the year. I might leave it blank. I haven't decided yet, but this is Temperature Supernova. Okay. All right, we have now reached the 2023 starts. So to begin, so starting off, we have our first full moon piece. This is the January Wolf Moon by the Little Stitcher. So this series has 13 full moons. It includes a blue moon, which is the second full moon in 1 month. So whenever that happens, that moon is considered a blue moon. So this is the first one, January Wolf Moon. I think these do also technically come with like a simple border. I didn't do the border for any of them. This one and all of the ones in this series, I stitched on 16 count pewter. So, next one. This one is called Geometric Heart by Cross Stitch World UA. Obviously a finish. I really, really like this one. I wanted a heart that was anatomical, but not realistic. And I think this is so perfect for what I wanted. And this one I started technically the day after. I had a echocardiogram. I'm fine, don't worry. Yeah, results came back. They said I had an A+ heart. So that's great. Good thing to be an A+ on. So yeah, I wanted to do this in like for that event in my life. And yeah, I actually finished it on the day I got the good results. So that was extra special as well. So Geometric Heart, this is on, it looks like 14 count white. Probably. I probably chose that so it would fit in a certain size frame. I'm guessing 8 by 10. So normally when I'm picking fabric counts, it's usually so that it will fit a certain size frame. As you can, start to see, I don't actually like FFO most of my stuff, but when I do, it's usually framed. It's almost always framed. So that's what I keep in mind when I'm picking out fabric. All right. Then we have, oh, this is way up. This is the February Snow Moon by the Little Stitcher. Again, on 16 count pewter. Pretty basic, pretty simple. And that's what I liked about these. That's why I liked having them as a monthly project, because most of these I could finish in a day or 2 days. I didn't for all of them, but they were small enough and simple enough that I could. Okay. Then we have our first Christmas ornament. I'm going to sneeze. Hold on. Nope. Good. Okay. Our first Christmas ornament. Now this one. Okay. Hold on. I need to go grab something. Okay. That took me a minute to find. I actually have the physical chart for this one. Most of my charts are like digital PDFs that I get from Etsy. This one, I have the physical chart, so I'm just going to show the front cover. So this one, I won this from, I always forget their channel name. Two Needles Pulling Thread. They had a giveaway probably like about a year ago. Yes. And I won one of their bundles. So what I did was I took sections of it and made ornaments. So this one is, I can just use this, pine trees. So that is, this part right here, pine trees. So, and I did that for a lot of the ornaments that I made this year. I took sections from a larger piece. So this is the first one. And so for the Christmas ornaments, I would generally start them on the 25th of each month. For the Halloween ornaments, I would generally start them on the 13th of each month for some like dark 13 stitching. And that's sort of how I spaced it out throughout the year. Okay, so next up is Lunasa by the Elven Forest. Lunasa is the celebration that is, it's like a harvest festival. It's sort of the midpoint between the summer solstice and the autumn equinox. And I really love this one. Did I change this one? A lot of the ones in this series I did make like color adjustments to, and some things I moved around. I actually don't know if I changed this one. Maybe the dress? I don't know. Well, I'll show you the picture if I did. Yeah, but this is Lunasa, and this one says, "Merry we part and merry we meet. The grain is ripe and the fruit is sweet." I like this one. Okay. Then we have another one designed by Allerton Embroidery. They're the ones who designed the Sunday Afternoon, that one. This is Starry Night. So again, based on it, obviously very famous painting. This painting by Van Gogh. And now this one obviously is much more, there's more confetti in this one. And again, so this is another one. I was just following the design like just off of my phone and just having to like, be careful of following it without being able to like highlight anything. This one I also have started printing off pages of, and I think that's going to help a lot too, to make more progress with it. So this is what I have so far for Starry Night, designed by Allerton Embroidery. Let me make sure that's... So, there we go. Honestly, so I started... Have I been saying dates? I haven't been saying dates. Oh my gosh. Okay. So... I don't want to like go. I'll add it in. I'll add it in at the bottom. Okay. So Starry Night started February 8th. Starry Night. Okay. Oh, so much to remember when doing these. Oh my goodness. Like I thought like, oh, I'm prepared, I'm ready. I went through what I wanted to say. Yeah, not exactly. Okay. Next up is another Halloween ornament. None of these are finished as ornaments, by the way. You know, maybe next year. Okay, so this is Meditating Skeleton by Teeny Weeny X Stitch. Yeah, that was cute. This is on 18 count black Ada. Meditating Skeleton. Exactly what it says. Okay. Then another full moon. This is the March Sap Moon by the Little Stitcher on 16 count pewter Ada. Yeah, not much to say about that one. But again, I think they're all really, really cute. And I also should say, so each of the names for the full moon, there are, like, among different cultures, there are different names that they could be called. So if some of these don't sound familiar, maybe you know it by something else. But yes, I liked how they designed for each name. I think they're well designed for that. Okay. Then, so this one I started February 24th. This was in commemoration of 1 year since the start of the invasion of Ukraine. So I wanted to stitch another Ukrainian piece. And this is Heart of Ukraine by Sassy Fox Cross Stitch. This is on 14 count white Ada. And it's not the best Ada, which is unfortunate because this is, you know, one, it's a beautiful piece, but two, it's, you know, for what it's for, being, you know, in solidarity with Ukraine. I just kind of wish the fabric was better, but it's fine. So, Heart of Ukraine. Okay. Then we have another Christmas ornament. This is also a section of Let's Talk Winter. Did I even say? Okay, Let's Talk Winter by Hands On Design. It's this snow globe portion. And I took out the snowflake and moved globe over so it would be right under snow. So it looks like this. Snow globe. I think I did, let me check. I did this in one day. Yes. Started and finished February 25th. Okay. Oh, and then Heart of Ukraine. So I started February 24th, finished March 5th. And then this one was started and finished February 25th. So the next day. Okay. Then I had my birthday start. So this one, started February 27th, finished March 12th. This is Angry Beavers by Duck Duck Moose, which I think is kind of a cute name. Yeah, Angry Beavers. It was a cartoon. I wasn't little, but I don't know, junior high-ish, I want to say. I'd have to check the years, but I really liked the Angry Beavers cartoon, so I thought that would be a good birthday start for this year. This is on 18 count white Ada. I also think I changed a color of something. If I did, I'll add that on the screen. I usually keep track in my phone now of anything I change the color to, I keep track of. So, is there anything I didn't say about this? I think I got it. Finished March 12th? Okay. All right. We're on another page. We're moving along here. Okay. So this one was gifted to someone. So I have a picture of this one. This one is Soul by Awesome Awesome Pattern Studio. Started March 1st and finished March 31st. This I made as a gift for my sister who went on vacation to Seoul, South Korea in 20, no. When was that? Yeah, she went in 2022, so I gifted it after. Yes, I must have. Okay, because I did it this year. Okay, so yes, this is Seoul. They have so many cities. So if you have vacation somewhere, or you want to do it for one where you live or one where you would love to go, check them out on Etsy because they have a lot of options. Okay, then we have another Halloween piece. This is one where the pattern comes with 4 different designs. So I just did them each separately. I mean, they're kind of, you could do them all together, but so I separated them. It's the pattern overall is called Halloween Silhouettes, and this is the owl. This is on 18 count parchment, and the white, which, I mean, I don't know if you can tell, but like the white in between some of the stitching is the DMC glow in the dark, and it works. It glows in the dark. I mean, I've only used it to like I've held it up to the light, for a while, and then like went in the bathroom, shut off all the lights, and it does glow. So I'm not sure like if it was just up on the wall it would glow, but you get a good picture out of it. So this is Halloween Silhouettes Owl by Doreen Jones. Started March 13th, finished March 15th. I also think I changed the orange color for this one. So, okay. Okay, next up is Mabon by the Elven Forest. This is the celebration of the autumn equinox. Started this one March 20th and finished it earlier today, December 31st. I had a little bit of back stitching left to do, and I was like, I'm not gonna include this in a WIP parade when I've got literally like 20 minutes of back stitch left. Now, yeah, I know I had like an hour of back stitch on the other one and I didn't do that, but this was closer, okay? This was closer to a finish. And here we go, Mabon, complete. This one, it did also have some back stitching like in the fruit of the cornucopia she's holding. And I started to do it and I didn't like how it looked. I didn't feel like it necessarily needed it. Like I know you can't, like if you look close, like you can tell enough what it is, but I decided not to include it. I also thought about back stitching around the moon phases, but in the right light, you can see it just fine. Like you can see this just fine. This one says, the day and night hours equally roam, and she changes from mother to crone. So, I like this one. I think I also, did I change the dress? I don't know. I'll include it on the screen if I did. But okay, next up is another full moon. This is the one, so this one is actually in a frame. These full moon pieces, okay, there we go. I switched them all in and out of this frame. As you can see, April being in the frame, I did stitch more than that, but it didn't get switched out. So that's how that goes sometimes. But I love this frame for this project. I think it looks so good. It's perfect. Okay. So that is that one. Oh my God. Okay. Information. So like the other ones, 16 count pewter, started, started, referencing my notes, March 21st, finished April 2nd. The other thing, I keep remembering all these things I wanted to say earlier. So for all of these full moon pieces, I started them all on the new moon before the coming full moon that it was for. So I gave myself like 2 weeks to do each one. Now, eventually, as I have learned about myself, I don't stitch as often in the summer. So when it got to the summer, I got behind. And because I wanted to keep it on that, like I start one each new moon schedule, Like, even though they're smalls, I wasn't stitching as much. So anyway, there we go for that one. So we are up through, what did I say? Started March 21st. Okay. So still in March, we have another, yes, we have another Christmas ornament. This one is also from, where is it? Let's Talk Winter by Hands On Design. This one is the snowman. And again, I moved the man under the snow so it was like more compact to make into an ornament more easily. So that is, here we go. Again on 18 count black. Snowman. And I think this is a really good idea for making ornaments, because you think this one, I mean, because it's a beautiful piece altogether. You can also make ornaments out of it. So I enjoyed doing that. So that is, I think, the last of the Christmas ornaments from this one. Like, you could make more, obviously, but the ones I did this year, it was those three. All right, and that, I didn't say the dates for those. So this one was started March 25th. Started March 25th, finished April 19th. So that's that one. Okay, now, another one that was gifted to the same sister again. This year, she visited Tokyo, Japan for her trip. And so I made Tokyo from Awesome Pattern Studio. This was on, I'm pretty sure, an 18 count white. Although it was, so they're not all the same size. Like, the other one was like an 8x10 frame. This one was fit in a 5x7. So that is that one. This was started April 2nd and finished October 27th. Okay. Now another Halloween ornament. This one is again from the Halloween Silhouettes series by Doreen Jones. This one is Haunted House. Again with the glow-in-the-dark DMC. And this is also on 18 count parchment. Okay. Then we have a full coverage finish. This is Stained Glass House by 2x2 Stitch Art. This was started April 16th and finished November 14th. It's on 18 count white Ada. And this one, what I enjoyed about this stained glass type design is that I did all of the black stitching first. So I basically outlined everything first. And then I filled in just the house. And then I did just the green in the, like, the ground and the trees. And then I did the blue and then the sun. And I liked doing it that way. I usually will do sections of a project at a time. Not always, but usually. And I liked that this really lends itself to that approach for stitching. So, let's see. I think I mentioned everything. Yes, okay. Pretty sure. Pretty sure. All right. Then we have another monthly moon. This is the May Flower Moon by The Little Stitcher. Again on 16 count pewter. Dates for this one started April 19th, finished April 24th. Yeah. May Flower Moon. Okay, now this one is interesting. So this one, no, actually, hold on. Actually, the next one I started, I'm not going to show you because that is a gift that I'm choosing not to show for this one. I'll show you basically presuming I finish it next year. I'll include it in next year's Finishes and WIP Parade. As, presuming it's a finish, I'll show it. But next is one that is maybe the only time I've restarted a project. Is it the only time I've done that? Well, I mean, not technically. Well, the other time I'm thinking of, I was just completely off center, so I had to restart it. Anyway, doesn't matter. Okay, so I'm going to show you both versions. So the original one, I started April 22nd, then restarted November 12th. So I'm going to show you both right now. So the one I started first, so it was started April 22nd, which is Earth Day. So it's going to look like this. This is Blue Dot by, let me check, Taylor and Cromwell. So it's made up of words. It's a Carl Sagan quote. And so I am a center starter generally. So I started like this. This is a 14 count white Ada. And I went with 14 count because it being all words, I wanted to make sure that it was big enough to read easily. But because I wanted to start in the center, and also this is that same not great Ada that I did the Heart of Ukraine on. It's from Michaels. It's just I feel like it used to be better. And I feel like it's just not as good now, and I'm not sure why. But so I started this one, and because I started in the center, I then kind of worked my way over, and I don't know what I was doing. But basically, I kept like backstitching the words backwards, and when I do that, they don't feel like words anymore. It's just like shapes, just symbols. And I was like, I'm just stitching, what is basically, it's backwards. It doesn't mean anything. So it really just took me out of it. I'm like, I'm not, like, what is this? So finally, I was like, I'm just going to restart it. So I restarted it on 18 count white instead of 14. And I think it's still big enough. It's fine. I was using 2 strands on that one. I'm using 1 on this one. This one I decided to start at the top so that I was actually writing out words. And mostly I went just line by lines because then I'm like, I'm actually forming something. It's not just random, like it's not just random shapes. It's words this time. And like, as you can see, I did sort of like go off of that a little bit, but that was basically to finish the green thread that I had. Cause like, I didn't want to count. Yeah, I just wanted to finish the green thread. So that's why it's not fully just strictly line by line. But I basically did as much as I could line by line with also finishing whatever was left on the needle. So this is what it looks like now. So this one, again, restarted, what's the date? November 12th. So I am liking it a lot better now. So I think I'll be able to continue to make progress on this one in 2024. Okay, next. Got a real pile going over there. Okay, next one is another Christmas ornament. This one I don't have a ton done on, but I will show you what it looks like. Where's, oh, right here. Okay, so this is Snowflake number 1. Let's see if, oh, that's fine. Snowflake number 1 from Nara X Stitch Patterns. So my trouble with this one was, again, that because I'm just following the pattern on my phone, like not even a tablet, just on my phone, because of how intricate the snowflake is, it was just kind of inconvenient to do it from a PDF on my phone. So this one, again, I also, earlier this week, I think I printed out from 3 or 4 different patterns that I just need to print this. So I'm expecting, finish that one up. Won't take too long. All right, and this is on an 18 count, I want to say royal blue, I think. Started April 25th for this one. Okay. And next up, we have a WIP. This is Samhain, which is, I don't know if I want to say similar to Halloween or another version of Halloween, but that is what this one is. This is by the Elven Forest, also on 18 count oatmeal Ada. Yeah. I think I changed the hair color for this one. I only have, so other than finishing this one, the only one I think I have left in this series to do is Yule, which would be the Christmas one, or the winter solstice one. So yeah, I've just got this one and then one more, and the whole series will be complete. So there's this one. Started May 1st. Okay. Another page. We're moving our way along. Okay. Another Halloween ornament. This one, okay, so this one is another instance where I took a section of a larger design. So this is what the whole thing looks like. And so this one I am calling Halloween Cat. This was by Lilu X Stitch. Started May 15th and finished August 3rd. So again, I'm telling you, if there are ornaments, if you want to make ornaments and you're like, oh, there's not a ton I love, look at sections of larger pieces. I recommend it. So there's that one. Then we have another monthly moon. This is the June Honey Moon by the Little Stitcher, again on 16 count pewter. Started May 19th and finished August 4th. Honeymoon. And then another Christmas ornament. This one, yet again, is from a section of a larger piece. This one is designed by Stitch Rovia, so this is the whole thing. And this, so it's called Busy Santa, I think. So I'm calling this one Busy Santa with Presents. This is on an 18 count white. This is started May 26th and finished August 4th. Okay. All right. Then another Halloween ornament. This one is from the same one as the cat one. So this is the full piece by Lilu X Stitch. This is Halloween Jack-o'-lantern on 18 count oatmeal. Started June 13th and finished August 3rd. Okay. Now this next one is a gift, but I'm going to show it because it's for a child and I don't expect the child to see the video. So if you happen to be someone who lives in Australia and we've known each other for, going on 20 years, then you know who you are. This is for your child. So if you don't want to see it, just close your eyes. I will put the name of it on the screen for everyone else, but I will tell you when you can look again. This is this project by Dennis Pattern. And here we have what I have so far. This would be the top middle portion. We'll say portion to not give it away if someone doesn't want to look. But let me show up close. I'll put in a picture if it doesn't show clearly on camera, but that's pretty good. But yeah, I think it's so cute. This is on a 18 count light blue. And if you are closing your eyes, you can look again. Okay. Then we have 3 more of the moons, of the full moons. So this is an example of one where, like, in the summer, I am not stitching as much. So this was, first one started August 10th. August, I started to get back into it. Slipped off again and then got, like, back in. I guess my stitching the second half of the year was just not super consistent. It was, well, actually, let me check. Because there were, like, months where I didn't start anything. Okay, let me see. Started 2 things in June, nothing in July, and then August was more full. I don't know if the glare, if you can see that. And then nothing in September, so it goes back down. And then started 1 thing in October. And then November, and then November kind of picks up again. So, anyway. Where were we? Okay, so our moons. Okay, this is the July buck moon. As with the others, it is by the Little Stitcher, stitched on 16 count pewter Aida. This one I started August 10th and finished August 13th. And then we have the August grain moon, again by the Little Stitcher on 16 count pewter. Started August 13th, finished August 14th. And then we have the blue moon, like the extra moon. This is the, what is it called? Where am I? Hold on. Oh, the spinning wheel moon. Little Stitcher, 16 count pewter. This was started, oh, no, okay, I don't have the date this was started because this, as I was going through all of the planning for this video, this was not on the list. And not just not on the written list, it wasn't in the calendar. So I'm assuming I started it around this time. So the spinning wheel moon, sometime in August. Little Stitcher, 16 count pewter, just like all the other ones. Okay. Okay. Next is, we're back to another Halloween. Okay, this is from the Silhouette series by Doreen Jones. This one is still a WIP. This is Halloween Silhouettes Scarecrow. Started August 14th. Almost done with this one, just have to finish the border. This is on 18 count oatmeal Aida. Okay. And again, using the white being the DMC glow in the dark. Which is actually not bad to work with. It's not just like the regular DMC. So I do use shorter strands, but it's not bad. Like it kind of frays a little bit, but it's not bad. It's not like metallic. Like let's not even go there. Okay. Next up is another Christmas ornament. This is again from the Stitcherovia piece. This one is Busy Santa with List on 18 count white. Started August 26th and finished October 29th. Okay. Then, so this one is also a gift, but I am going to show it. This is for my niece and nephew. So if you know them and you don't want to see it, close your eyes. I will tell you when you can look again. This is, so I'm not going to say the name out loud if you don't want to know, but I'm going to put the name right here. This is designed by the girl with a bow. And here we go. I think it's really cute. So this is on, oh, okay. The other thing, okay, here, I'll put it, sorry. Okay, I'll show it a little bit longer and then I'll talk about it without being specific. Okay, if you close your eyes, you can look again. So this is the first project that I have stitched on 20 count Aida. And I did it with 1 strand, which was the first time I've stitched with 1 strand, because I'm always like, mostly 18 count, I'm a 2-strand type of person. And this one, because I hadn't stitched on 20 count before, I started with 2 strands, and I was like, no, this is too bulky. And I went to 1, and then I was like, I don't know how I feel about that either. Went back to 2, and I was like, no, this 2 is not it for 20 count. Went back to 1. And like for the darker colors, the coverage is not great. Like, it's fine, but it's just not as, the coverage isn't as good, but I still prefer the 1 strand for a 20 count. Now I know that. So moving on from that one. You can't see it. It's fine. Okay. Then the next 3 are all ones that I stitched for Palestine. The first 2 are ones that the designers offered like in exchange for a donation. One of them was for Doctors Without Borders. The other one, I believe, was for the Palestinian Children's Relief Fund. Though it's possible that they would take like any sort of relief agency donation, that they would offer the pattern in exchange, although obviously check with the designers. So first one is Stitchers for Peace by Yasmin's Made with Love. I love this. I love this. This is on 18 count Aida, though stitched with 1 thread. Stitched with 1 thread. I learned from the other one. And I'm not sure why, because like I started with 2 strands as usual. This is a 18 count dirty Aida. And for some reason I was just like, try 1 strand. And I really do like it. I think it sort of adds to the delicacy of the pattern, and it spoke to me. So this is Stitchers for Peace. Started November 16th and finished November 24th. It's so lovely. Okay, and then my second Palestinian one. This is Ceasefire Now by Crafty Yams. And she actually used my piece as like a model stitch that they showed on their Instagram and their Flosstube channel. So this was started November 18th and finished November 22nd. This is stitched on, what count is this? It's probably 18, an 18 count white. And then my third Palestinian piece, this is called Palestine Mahmoud. No, I looked up how to say it. Mahmoud Darwish quote. So written in Arabic is a quote by that poet, Mahmoud Darwish. That's not bad. Okay. Well, I mean, maybe not, but so the original pattern in this is wider, but I just made it more narrow to fit a 5x7 frame. This is designed by 365 Days of Dana. It is stitched on, again, I think an 18 count white. Started November 21st and finished November 28th. And the other thing I really liked about, in the Etsy listing for this pattern, it included the Arabic and then the English translation. I just thought that was very thoughtful. And so I learned, Mahmoud Darwish was a Palestinian poet. One of his most famous poems, let me look up what it's called because I want to tell you. Okay, so I looked it up. And so the title of the poem and this quote is, "We have on this earth what makes life worth living." There are a few translations of the poem available online. I'll link to the one that I read. It was beautiful. And so I'm so glad that I was able to stitch this one. So I will be stitching more Palestinian pieces, and I look forward to doing that in 2024. And like, what to say? I'll say free Palestine. I will say end funding of the genocide. I will say that if you have not yet been to a protest or would like to go, or am not sure, or if you're not sure how to learn about them, because that's how could you go if you didn't know that they were happening, is to find the organizations that organize and host those events and follow them on Facebook or Instagram, because they will always, be getting the word out on when the next event is happening. And that's I mean, I've been to 3 so far near where I live, in 3 different locations near where I live. And they'll usually announce organizations that have put together whatever sort of event it is. Follow them on Facebook or Instagram, and then you'll know when the next event is happening. So, yeah. I mean, you can't really. I'll continue with my WIP parade now, but that's, not at all to set something like that aside. But continuing on. So we have another moon project. Yeah, it feels weird to continue after that, but okay. This one is still a WIP. So I got up to the September harvest moon. So it's gonna look like that. This is what it looks like now. Again, by the little stitcher on 16 count pewter. So again, the first half of the year I was doing very well, staying up to date, and then I don't stitch as much in the summer. That's okay. So I will continue I'll continue this series throughout 2024, wrap those up. But yeah. Okay, so we've got 3 more. Let me see. Oh, sorry. This one I started November 26th. Okay, then we've got, yes, we're on our final 3. Okay, so the next 2, actually. So I liked even though I didn't finish out all of the moons in the year, I did like having a monthly project. But because my stitching is not as consistent throughout the year, what I wanted to do for next year's monthly project, so I chose it's they're called the mini monthly series. So there's one for each month. And okay, I'll just show you the first one. So this is mini monthly January. This is by Stitching Cabin. Started and finished December 26th. And my plan for this one is that instead of starting it first of each month, or starting it right before the, that month, that I'm just gonna, I've also done February. So next one, February, mini monthly February, again by Stitching Cabin. And also, so these are also on the 16 count pewter. So I'm going to be saying that a lot. So I think they're really cute. And I started February right after January. So this was start and finish December 27th. Because I don't necessarily want to space them out through the year if my stitching is not going to be evenly spaced out through the year. So I'm just going to, roll through these, and hopefully I'll have them all finished next year. But I'm not going to purposely space it out if I know that that's not how I stitch. So I'm not saying I'll do all of them this, in January, but I've already got the first 2 done. So I'm good for the first 2 months. And then, so this is then the piece that when I was thinking earlier in the year of what I might want my new monthly series to be, I went back to the Calendar Girl series, the November one I did earlier. And so on December 28th, I started Miss January from the Calendar Girl series. So this is what it'll look like. And here is mine. You can see that I did change the skin color and the hair color. And oh my God, I love how it looks. I love it so much. I think she looks so pretty. So I did also change the blush color. That's the blush on her cheeks. I did make it darker. I think it's still too light, but I'm not gonna take it out. So just these very bright pink cheeks. But so my point is that I was thinking of doing the Calendar Girls series as my monthly piece. As I'm sure you can tell, I was like, no, they're too big to be able to stay up to date with. And even though I was originally thinking like, oh, well, I'll start January's like in November. Well, I didn't. I started at December 28th. But like, even if I had, I know that I wouldn't stay up to date with it, trying to do it that way. So what I've decided to do, because I still like this series, I still want to do, most if not all of them. The plan is to just kind of, and these are sold individually by month, whereas the other series were sold like as a bundle. So for this one, I'm just gonna kind of like, I'll buy them and start them as I get the whim to, and then eventually I'll probably do all of them. But I'm not gonna have it set as like a monthly project throughout the year. So that was all, what was it, 52? I think it was 52. Let me go back and check. No. If I did the math correctly, it's 52 projects I just showed you, so. So, I'm ending the year, if I did the math correctly, with 16 WIPs, which seems for me like a lot, but some of them are smalls, some of them are my kind of like inactive WIPs, and yeah, some of them are close to being done. 16, I feel pretty okay about 16. That's not bad. So I'm trying to get them all, this whole big stack. So this is everything I worked on in 2023 / technically still a WIP or a finish. So I don't use project bags. I don't. So that's why it's like this. Okay. Is there anything else I want to say? Anything I forgot that I wanted to say probably at the beginning? Let's see. Yeah, I'm really pleased to have 36 finishes in a year. And yes, like half of them at least were smalls, but that's fine. That's still a finish. They're still really lovely pieces and will, fingers crossed, eventually become ornaments as they were intended to. But I mean, because I like that people have like cross-stitch ornament trees, and I have, like, I'm looking at it right now, I have 2 3-foot trees. I could have one be regular Christmas ornaments and one be cross-stitch Christmas ornaments, and it would look real good. I just have to make them into ornaments. But yeah, so I think I will still do some Christmas and Halloween ornaments, but I'm not going to do it as focused as I did it this year, where like I tried, for a portion of the year, a good portion, I started one each month. And like the original plan was to do like a Christmas in July, like one every week. Obviously that didn't happen. I hardly stitched all in July, and that's okay. But yeah, that's the other thing I've enjoyed just being aware of about my stitching, because the same thing basically happened the year before, where I didn't stitch as much in the summer, and now I'm like, oh, well, okay, this is like, at least for, current circumstances, I stitch less in the summer. And that's good to know planning wise. I am going to have a separate planning 2024 plans, a few other like stats, like how much money did I spend on like how much money did I spend on cross stitch in 2023? I have been keeping track, and I will let you know in the next floss tube video. So yeah, I'm going to do plans, stats, things like that in a separate video. But yeah, 42 starts this year, 36 finishes. That's real good. That's really good. So if you enjoyed this video, first of all, thank you. That's very sweet of you. My channel is about kind of anything I feel like talking about, so it's not just FlossTube, but I do have a FlossTube playlist, which I will link in the description. If those are the videos that you are interested in, you can watch those. So thank you so much for watching my 2023 cross stitch finishes and WIP parade, and I will see you next time.